Hi everyone. So today's pick a card is the Two of Wands. And thank you everyone for your donations. They've been amazing. And if you'd like to donate, the links are in the description box along with my website. I am currently updating it. I'm putting up more readings. So I'll just try to keep you updated as it gets updated. I will see you at your card. Hi, number one. So let's see what the first Two of Wands would like to say. Well, so far it looks like that you're starting to come into understanding yourself as far as what your beliefs are, how you think about things, and even your shadow side as far as the qualities that you've been taught aren't good, so you've kind of put them in that dark box, that dark corner. You're starting to understand and work with those qualities. Which is great. Congratulations. Because your qualities aren't bad. Those are qualities that other people didn't like because of whatever they have going on. Yeah, so if you were told you're too much, it's because that's what they've been taught, and that's how they think that that's how it's supposed to be. And it's not. You are not too much to the people who actually love you. And it looks like that you have had quite a few of your personality traits that people told you weren't good. And you're really starting to ask questions. Why aren't they good? Well, why do I have to be a certain way in order for you to accept me? And even then, by the way, they don't accept you. There's always going to be something that isn't good enough, and that's because they are trying to keep you underneath them. If there's always something that they can criticize about you, then that's always something else that they feel like that they're better at than you, or that they're just trying to downplay in order to make themselves feel better. Because they are too afraid to actually examine their own life, make changes in their own life. Majority of the people don't like change. Especially when they can tell that you are going to be something and they aren't. So that really makes them mad. And all of that just because you're sitting in the room. And none of this has anything to do with you. That's the crazy part. None of this has anything to do with you. If someone else was sitting there instead of you, they would be doing that exact same thing to everybody. And the longer that you sit there and allow them to do this to you, the worse it's going to get. It's just going to get worse. You can't get better out of this. And you're not going to be able to find real, true love until you do something about your own life. And staying in this situation with these people is keeping you from your own happiness, keeping you from finding your significant other, keeping you from loving life, living life, not hating everything. So it looks like that you're at a crossroads. You have realized just enough that this is not a good situation for you. So congratulations. But now comes the decision, are you going to put yourself first and do what's best for you? Or are you going to just continue to stay in this situation and continue to wither? When you're climbing a mountain, not everybody's going to be able to come with you. And honestly, if you're actually climbing a mountain, you're going to end up being the only one. Until you reach a point that you find a different type and class of people. People who actually will celebrate your qualities and love you and be supportive and help you along your journey. Not people who are family or school friends or co-workers. All of these people that don't make you feel good are doing it on purpose. And it's because you have such potential. That everyone sees this potential that you have, except for you. And they're trying to take it, control it, make it their own. And it's yours. And you're not going to really be able to understand all of that until you get to a different place. So, Spirit is urging you, highly urging you, to go your own route. Go. Do your own thing. Leave. Block them. They're not good for you. Yeah, as soon as you make the commitment to yourself, inwardly, or even writing it down to yourself, that you were going to put your happiness first and you were going to put yourself first, which means that you take care of yourself first and you're going to start saying no. And once these things kind of start happening, you're going to start seeing some changes. You're going to get some messages. You're going to start feeling different things. And once you kind of get through that door, that hard part, just get through that and go on your way, you're going to start seeing a whole new world. Good luck. And number 2. So let's see what the second 2 of Wands would like to say. It looks like you've been working through a lot of burdens. Childhood trauma, false belief systems. Anyway, excuse me. It looks like that you've really been digging deep and searching and examining, which is great. Congratulations. But it looks like that you're kind of skipping the middle step, which is the process. And the process is actually the whole point of this exercise. So basically, it looks like that you start examining a childhood trauma. You know, why did this happen to me? How do I feel about it? You're examining it, but it's almost like you're not fully able to release it, because it feels like you're asking questions, but then you're not really answering them, and you're not really releasing the whole thing. Because when you're examining it and you're asking these questions, it's supposed to help you come to some realizations. It's supposed to help you learn something and be able to grow and feel more free. And you want to feel free, but you're not finishing the whole process in order to get there. Which is why you're not seeing the results that you would like to see. And it's not about seeing results, it's about feeling results. When you feel better, then you start doing better. And when you start doing better, that's when you start seeing things get better. Because it's kind of like you start thinking about something that is bugging you. And instead of trying to look at the other side or try to understand why this is happening or to even figure out what you're upset about. Instead, it's more like you kind of steer into this like, I'm still right and they're still wrong. And you're missing kind of the point of doing all these exercises, doing these self-examinations. Do you want to be right or do you want to be happy? Because when it comes to situations like this, it doesn't matter who's right. Doesn't matter. Even if you are right, still doesn't make you feel better, does it? So, you can be right or you can be happy. Because if the other person isn't going to change, and you can't make someone change, they have to do that their own. But if the other person isn't going to change, then you're going to have to be the one that makes a change. If you want that change. Yeah, you're going to have to be the one that actually releases, you let go, you cry, scream, throw something. You know what would be a really good process? Spirit just said that it would be very therapeutic for you to write this argument down. Whatever, all the things that are bugging you, all of them. Just start writing. Just writing until you start feeling better. And then when you're done and you feel better, go burn it. That is a physical release and forgiveness process of trying to clear this stuff up that you want to clear up. But you have to want to let go of it. Because I still feel this just underlying holding on to. Like, okay, yeah, that sounds great. But then when you're thinking about doing it, and it actually sounds like it's going to work, and it's going to be released, and it's going to be gone, you start freaking out. What are you freaking out about? It feels like that you're just so used to being caught up in stuff that it's kind of a default. And this process is going to change that. But that's part of why we want to make these changes. We don't want to be stressed out and fighting all the time. What fun is that? Really, what fun is that? I guess some people find it fun, but you know what? I got better things to do. And if you like to fight, then you're not, it's going to be real hard for you to work through this, and you're not going to be able to grow. I mean, you're not going to be able to grow in the fashion that you want to. You're going to grow in some direction, just not the one you're looking for. Because the one you're looking for is happiness. You want to feel that childlike life again. It's right here. You want rainbows, fairies, and a good childhood time. So, in order to do that, you're going to have to let go of all this stuff. Excuse me. Man, got something in there. Yeah, it is easier said than done. Absolutely. But it starts with wanting to. If you don't want to do something, you're not gonna do it. And even if you don't want to do something and you do it, you're not gonna be happy doing it. So what's the point of doing it? It looks like most of your issues are currently stemming from your friend group. You're spending and investing too much time, energy, and resources and emotions into your friend group. And all of that time and energy and stress is what you need in order to move in a better direction. So if you really don't want to go through this process, then what you can do is start spending more time alone. Quit calling your friends. Quit talking to your friends. Especially when they're calling you because they got something going on and it's all, woo, it's always something. It's always something. And that can eat up the whole rest of your day. Because it's not just the phone call or the text. It's the emotions, it's the stress, it's thinking about it. Now they have you all tied up in whatever their stuff is going on. And that way you're not focused on what your stuff is. Because as soon as you take focus off of them and put it on yourself, then that's really where you're going to start shining. And this process will inevitably happen if you start focusing on yourself and things that make you happy. So Spirit's giving you options. That's nice. Yeah, you got the Hangman twice, right under each other. So your friends got you all tied up. They're all tied, and the Hermit twice, meaning you need to start spending more time by yourself. Quit answering your phone when they call. Quit texting them back. And start focusing on you. Wow, yeah, you got all this twice. Alright, so solid confirmation. Quit talking to your friends. Start spending more time on you. Good luck. And number 3. So let's see what the third 2 of Wands would like to say. Our brain naturally wants to fill in the blanks. So you have this knowing, this feeling, this just, you know that you're meant to do something great, but you don't really have any kind of vision or thoughts about how you're going to get there. And this process is where you begin to learn how to have faith. Faith isn't something that's just, happens. It can. When you're a kid, you naturally have faith. But that gets destroyed. So you have to rebuild faith in the universe or whatever belief system you follow. As long as you continue to do things that make you feel good and make you feel like that you are in the right direction, the universe will continue to send you what you need. And they will send you confirmation as well, as long as you're not up in your head. Part of the reason that you don't feel like you're getting real far real fast is because you expect things to go a certain way. And this is where you have to do the thing and then move on. So you go do the thing and then you go do something else that's going to make another little baby step in that direction. And when you leave this thing alone, that allows the universe to work with it. But you have to hand it over to them. You're still holding on to it because you want it to go a certain way. And it's really hard to do. It is. It's not easy. I still have to work on it. I'm still working on it all the time. And it does get easier because then it's one of those things that when you really start having like moments where it's like, oh my God, the universe is like amazing. Those are the moments that really build steps in creating that newfound trust. But it takes practice. It does. It takes practice. And the universe is never gonna, they're patient. I mean, they'll wait. They want you to succeed. And however you need to try to do that, they're gonna try to help you as much as you allow them to. That's the key. The more room you give them, the more they can help you. And it's pretty awesome because when you really start building that faith, then that's when you can ask the universe for something in a simple prayer and gratitude and then move on your day. And then that next week, it goes flawlessly. Christmas, for example. I'm not a big fan of, going home for Christmas. But that's because there's all kinds, there's always stuff going on. Like, there's always crap. And so before I went, I just asked the universe, can you please just have this go for the best for everybody? Thank you. And then I tried really hard not to think about it. You can't help it, but but don't stew on it. It's like if it pops up and you realize it, make a conscious effort to focus on something else. And that's really where you need to go, like exercise or listen to some music. You really need to get your mind in a different frame. And the less that you dwell on it, the more they'll work on it. And that way when Christmas happened, it went great. And no fighting, no nothing. So it works, at least for me. But you have to actually really work and practice at it. And this is what the universe is asking you to do, is to practice some form of ritual for yourself to be able to have to learn how to co-create with the universe. But it's just like, you know, when you're at a restaurant and you sit down and you order a meal, you trust that waiter and the cook to get it done and to bring it to you. It's the same thing with the universe. It's like if you ask the universe for something, you need to then move on and let the universe and trust the universe that they will handle it for you. And if you're sitting there at dinner time talking about your meal the whole time, it's never going to be as good as you built it up to be. It will always be a disappointment. That was a side message. And when you let the universe have that situation to handle, that's where you can really start to enjoy life. Because instead of stressing about whatever situations you have going on, you can focus on doing something that you enjoy doing. And that's what the universe wants. The universe wants to handle all your troubles so that way you can live a happy life. If your situation is kind of based around trying to find your dream person, it falls exactly under what we were talking about, where you have this idea of how you think meeting your one is supposed to go or what they're supposed to look like, and those things are keeping your own self blocked. So ask the universe for somebody who has the qualities you're looking for. So if you're looking for someone who's loyal and someone who already has their own job, or if that's not a requirement for you, then somebody who's just kind or supportive. Things like that. The qualities that you need. Ask the universe for qualities that you're looking for and then let it go. Because then the universe can arrange a whole scenario that's just mind-blowing. That when it happens, you won't even know it's happening. It'll just show up, it'll happen, and then later, in hindsight, you'll see how miraculous it was. but you have to give the universe space. So the main way you can give the universe space is that you are looking for somebody. If you're looking for somebody, it doesn't have to be this. This is just the next part that came out. If you're looking for somebody, then ask for the qualities and then start working on the things that you need to do in order to have and provide the kind of lifestyle you want with your partner. So, if you want to be happy in a relationship, work on your happiness. If you want a lavish lifestyle, you're going to have to figure out how to make that kind of money, but also still make time for them. Because if you have some fantastic dream about how you want to make all this money, you're not going to have time for your significant other. And then that's not going to go well. So, this is now the perfect the opportunity for you to practice faith, practice working with the universe by asking them what you want, and then practicing trust by letting them do it, and practicing releasing control, because then that's releasing that, and then you can practice by going and working on something else. So this is just confirmation of what I just said. This is now the opportunity to practice all those things and to practice on your own happiness, and then practice and work on what kind of lifestyle you want with this person. Good luck. My number 4. So, let's see what the 4th, 2 of Wands would like to say. A lot of self-reflection. I don't know if you've been doing it or need to do it or have been forced to do it, but that is what's happening. It looks, there's a couple messages. It looks like that the self-reflection has started making you feel better, making you feel a little more active. And the universe is saying that you should be proud of the amount of self-reflection work that you've done. It looks like you're really just super focused on it and haven't zoomed out to look at the bigger picture to see how far you've come along. You know, it's kind of like you're working on a really big puzzle and you're really focused in it and you're just putting pieces together, and you know, you're kind of like you're just really in it, and I'm starting to kind of feel maybe a little bit of burnout, a little bit of plateauing. You get tired. And the universe is saying that it's time for you to kind of sit back and look at how much work you've done. Don't look at how much work you have left, because the amount of work that you have done is amazing. And the universe is asking you to really think about it. When you were putting this puzzle together, you had to separate out all the edge pieces from the middle pieces. Then you had to put those together. Then you had to separate out kind of, the little sections of the puzzle. If there's like a sky or a bird or a person or, some flowers. And, you've been, and when you start with this huge puzzle, it's a lot harder than where you're at right now. Because where you're at right now, you have majority of the pieces put in, the puzzle's starting to really come together and look really beautiful. And right now it looks like you might just have some of that like open sky left, that really hard part, that every piece looks the same and all the puzzle pieces are the same color. That's the time that you really sit back and enjoy what you've done. Take a break. That's what the universe is really saying. Just take a breather. Enjoy what you've worked on. If you need to, go do something else for a minute. Or at least go to the bathroom. And when you come back and really sit down, and you can enjoy what you've done. Enjoy the process. Enjoy your work. Because if you don't enjoy what you're doing, or at least practice, try to practice, enjoy what you're doing. Because that's life. Life is constantly in process, constantly moving. And if you don't try to stop and smell the roses and enjoy that work that you've done, then you're just going to continue to feel empty. And it seems like that might be kind of why you started this process, is because you felt empty. You're trying to fill that void. And you're doing a great job. And the universe is saying that a next step on this process is enjoy the process. Even the hard parts. Because those hard parts are the ones that give you the most satisfaction. Because when you actually get through all those blue pieces and that puzzle is just one big beautiful masterpiece, it's so satisfying. But that satisfaction isn't going to be what fills that hole. It's also enjoying the process and appreciating the hard parts and, being grateful for the easy ones too. So congratulations and good luck. Hi, number 5. So let's see what the 5th Two of Swords would like to say. it might seem easier to hold on. There's a lot of focus here on doing some kind of spell work or some kind of energy practice or prayer work that you are you're hurt and you would like revenge. And the universe is saying that what you're doing is working, but to your own detriment. Whatever practices and rituals and energy work that you're doing to try to get back at somebody is only going to make your life harder. And it's going to be a lot harder to dig yourself out later than if you stop now and try to approach it a different way. Instead, ask the universe, why did this happen? What am I supposed to learn from this? Because the reason that you're hurt is because you took whatever they did to you personally. And whatever they did, that's what they do. They do that to everybody, not just you. And you feel like that they just did this to you to hurt you. And it might have been to hurt you, but it's not just directly to you. This is not a good person. And the things that you're doing are turning you into not a good person. If you had some kind of plans or ideas about how something was supposed to go, or how you and someone were supposed to make this thing happen, but it didn't work, that's for a reason. It's not meant for you. Now, that doesn't mean that whatever your idea is bad, but what this means is that whatever happened, it's one of those things that it happened for you, not against you. This is the universe doing you a favor, because if this would have followed through, it would be just so much worse. So much worse. This is like, because you weren't seeing the red flags, the universe is like, all right, we need to do something drastic. Now the universe is asking you to go with the flow. You got out at the last possible time you could get out, or have this thing happen, now's the time to go. You have to, sometimes you just have to cut your losses and get out. Because if you continue to go down this rabbit hole, you're going to lose more and more and more. There's nothing to be gained out of whatever is going on here. So, confirmation. It's time to get out. It's time to go. And, you know, I've always felt that rejection is a good thing. Rejection is just a quick version of that telling you it's not meant for you. If they don't want you, you don't want it. There's something better. Always. There is always something better. If something rejected you, there is something better. Period. Because there's something out there that won't reject you. There's something out there that wants what you have to offer. And, you know, it's scary. But it's only as scary as you make it out to be. Yeah, the universe is saying if you go out on your own and leave this behind, then you will get better opportunities. The universe will make sure that you will come across something better, but you have to let this go. Good luck.